October update. This is the Rosary month. This month saw some tension with the attacks on the Internet Archive in the lead up to a certain election. Fortunately, the archive is back for now and hopefully will stay up long enough for me to get my act together to plan out a survey of their beautiful medieval copies of the Little Office of the Blessed Virgin Mary. Nothing like some wonderful online resource disappearing to make you realize how much you depend on libraries like that. Many of you went ahead, against my warnings, and ordered copies of the prototype CD of the day hours of Office 1. The third track on the CD was a bit patchy, so that was re-recorded, this time making sure to record a Laus tibi Domine so that I could make a version ready for Septuagesima. I've uploaded the 2 versions of Terce to the podcast here. This seems to be the only Septuagesima recording on the podcast so far. If you see a track listing on the back of your CD sleeve, you should have the updated Terce. Advent is zooming closer and closer, and I've made a recording that I should be able to edit in time, maybe even make an Advent CD available with enough lead time for people to receive their copy, God willing. Lauds for Advent is ready. Again, I recorded the Laus tibi Domine for the very occasional event when Office 2 is sung for the Feast of the Annunciation during Septuagesima. This will happen in 2025. The Annunciation is only one day of the year, so I'm not sure if it warrants a dedicated CD. Still, it would be good to have on the podcast. In the article, I have a photo of my son holding a lizard with a rooster in the background. This photo helps illustrate some of the craziness of this month, which might go some way to explaining why this October update is coming out in November. Back in June, we bought 4 one-week-old chicks from a farming family who drives an hour to come to our local Latin Mass. The cute little chicks grew up into 4 handsome roosters, and this became a bit of a problem. We learned a whole lot about roosters and how to work with their instincts to rule their terrain, but everything culminated in inviting them to dinner. And this was a very moving experience, which I'm sure you don't want to go into details here. The family kindly gave us 3 young hens, sort of to make up for it. It's just out of their generosity. It was good. Anyway, so we're hoping the hens start laying soon. So that explains the rooster in the shot. On to the thing in my son's hands. The lizard is a blue-tongue lizard, which is fairly common in Australia. They're slow-moving and like eating snails, so they're generally a good thing to have in the garden. But it still makes me jump when I almost step on one in the living room. We had a few hot days where one such reptile must have thought the cat door looked like the entrance to a nice cool cave. Between discouraging the cats from pestering it and guiding it back to the great outdoors, this brought some extra excitement to our spring. It seems to have moved on to a less populated backyard somewhere else now. So I guess that's it from me. Back to editing the remaining tracks for the Advent album. God bless, Veronica.